what's going on, guys? It's Zain with Everything Vive. I'm here with Ronnie. What's going on, Ronnie?
Not too much. How are you doing?
Not too bad. Just want to welcome you guys. This is the first episode of a podcast that we're putting together. This is my first time doing a podcast. I think it's the same for you, right?
Yeah, no, I've listened to tons and tons. I can't even begin to really recount how many hours of podcasts I've listened to.
Same here.
But this is the first time I've ever attempted to record one myself, so I'm really excited about it.
Yeah, so we'll kind of just see how it goes. But we're interested in the HTC Vive. Well, we're interested in everything about just virtual reality, augmented reality in general. But we both recently I recently got an HTC Vive for myself. And am obsessed with it, and Ronnie's the one who actually introduced me to it. So just figured we want to do something like this there's a couple reasons we're doing this. One, we want to help ourselves stay up to date with all the VR news, all the cool things that are coming out, and think it'd be a cool way to kind of build a community around that and just connect with others who are interested in the same thing. And so, yeah, for myself, I'm really just an enthusiast. This is the first time I've ever done anything with virtual reality. I used to play games a lot as a kid, especially computer games, but I'm getting back into it now, and I'm excited because I did not realize the technology was here. And so, I don't know, Ronnie, you want to tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, sure. So I'm actually an attorney by trade. I do entertainment law, and I do law focused on internet startups, that kind of thing, more technology focused areas of the law. I've been into gaming ever since I can remember, and I've always enjoyed the technical side of things, the hardware. I like consoles, but I'm kind of a PC gamer at heart, and so I've been interested in the VR stuff really since the first Oculus dev kit launched on Kickstarter. And once I tried the first, VR coaster probably, on the Oculus dev kit, I knew I was hooked. And really, I think the HTC Vive brings VR to a whole new level.
Agreed, yeah.
It takes it to a space where I think a much wider audience can get into gaming and get into VR.
Yeah, well, I was just going to say, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but I was just going to say, I think it can be so much more than gaming, too, just virtual reality in general.
I totally agree.
So, gaming, that's just more of like the pastime, kind of what the gateway drug that gets you back into new technology like this, but I think it's got potential to be so much more.
No, VR and AR both, I think, have huge potential, and especially with the Vive, the room scale capabilities of the system, really being able to move around in a space. I know not everybody has room to set up a system like the Vive, but once you do have the opportunity to see what moving around yourself can actually do to the experience, it's game changing, because you don't have to worry about any kinds of sickness involved with moving around with a controller. You're moving in the real world, you're moving in the virtual space. So and with the motion controllers, and I'll be interested to see what happens with the Oculus Touch, but I'm sure we'll get into that later. But
definitely.
Just in general, the fact that HTC came out of the gate with a complete VR package makes it something that is of huge interest, and I think really right now in the VR space is completely unique.
Yeah, and I want to keep this short just because this is the intro, but last thing I did want to touch on is why we chose the Vive instead of just VR in general or another platform. And I think for me personally, I actually haven't tried any of the other platforms, but just on doing my own research and seeing where every platform is at its current stage, the Vive just seems to be a couple light years ahead in terms of its capabilities. And this is not a bash against Oculus or the PlayStation VR, which I think is coming out next month, but it's more so this is where I found, or at least I feel like I found my calling to get back into gaming, or just to get back into this type of technology. And so I own a Vive, so that's why I'm personally interested in it. And I don't know about the same for you.
Yeah, for me, it was a difficult decision. I was invested in VR from before any of the retail kits came out, and like I said, I had already tried the previous dev kits. I hadn't gotten a chance to try the second Oculus dev kit, but I knew it was quite a bit more advanced than the first one. And so I was kind of at that point where I didn't know if I should go with an Oculus or go with a Vive. I ultimately decided, I actually ended up pre-ordering both, but I was convinced that the Vive would have more, would be a more exciting VR package because of the fact that it came with room scale, because it came with the motion controllers. And once I received my Vive and hooked everything up and saw, once you get inside and you see those controllers moving one to one with your own hands,
unreal experience.
Yeah, I knew I had made the right choice. So it wasn't. So I'm excited to talk about the Vive with Zain on this podcast, and hopefully keep ourselves and you guys up to date with everything that's going to be developing in VR.
Yeah. So, I think we'll cut it there. We'll have some future episodes. Ugh, I'm already stumbling on myself, but you know what, guys? It's the first episode, so got to get all the oohs and ahs out. But yeah, we'll hopefully keep you guys updated and be checking in regularly with you. And so, yeah, thanks for listening, and hope to chat with you in the future. All right.